My first ever wrestling figure. This figure's like nearly 34 years old. I got into wrestling when it was free. And that man, Hulk Hogan. I always say Steve Austin is my favorite of all time, but man, I have to say Hulk Hogan, as far as wrestling goes, the greatest of all time. It has to be, when it's all said and done about wrestling, I don't think there will ever be someone who, he made wrestling, WWF, in the late 80s. He was a big factor in saving the wrestling business, making it cool again, so to speak. In 1996, when he turned heel, absolutely adored this man. And like a lot of others, I had heard rumors that I hadn't been doing so well, and I was hoping that they weren't as bad. I'm generally like I don't cry often, but I cried today for the Hulkster. My earliest memories were of watching WrestleMania 8 the day after it happened. Him and Sid in the main event, Warrior returning, and those two were just when I was a young kid, those two were my heroes, Hogan and Warrior. I just couldn't, like back then, I couldn't picture a world without them. And he was one of the main reasons I stayed a wrestling fan for a lot of years. I was from 3 to 21, I was obsessed with wrestling pretty much. And since I've been 21, 37 now, it I still have a big love for wrestling. Even though I don't care too much for today's product, I feel as far as goes, I grew up with the best eras. I grew up when Hulk Hogan was at his peak, and when he returned to the WWE in 2002, his match with The Rock at WrestleMania 18. Watched that live. Remember watching that live, and it was incredible. It still gets talked about a lot today, and he was, to steal a quote from my favorite football team, as far as wrestling goes, he was simply the best, the greatest ever, and it'll be weird watching wrestling going forward, but yeah, R.I.P. Hulk Hogan.